All right, and then rounding this off, the 3 F's. I know we got a lot of F words we've been saying over the last 6 months, and it's been tough, right? It's been a crazy market. But if you just focus on tapping into your sphere of influence from your family and friends, there's so many people that you interact with, that your kids are involved with in sports, whether it's just your orthodontist that you're taking your kid to, right? Like, there's so many people within your sphere of influence that we have to get in this mindset of not being afraid to let people know what you do, right? And so you hear these stories all the time of the loan officer who is in line at the supermarket and, just starting up conversation and, just openly letting that person know what they do and come to find out, oh, I am looking to buy pretty soon. So I think a lot of us separate our personal life from our business life. And when we do that, we get imposter syndrome. As far as, well, hey, I got these people that don't know me, but they were referred to me, or somehow you got connected, you're now doing their loan. There is a level of separation between your personal life and them. And so, in your mind, it's like, well, what's the worst that can happen, right? Is I really screw this up and, maybe I lose that client in the future. So, but that is, again, back to this, what's the chances that happens? It's so rare, and focusing on that negative versus all the positives that you would gain from just your own local group and influence of family and friends. So I challenge everyone that what I had to do to overcome that was explain in my own head, right? That to that chatter that's going on, that, well, no, I am the best person suited to take care of them, right? They're at a disadvantage if they go to some random Quicken Loans or some random loan officer that, who knows, he could be some used car sales schmuck, right? So you tell yourself, like, I am the best thing for them. I am going to do them a great service, and they're going to be happy and satisfied and have that trust already built in. So that's how I want you guys to just reframe that conversation in your mind, and to the point of, like, if they're not using me, that's not good for them, right? And as opposed to, oh man, I really, I want them to use me, but then, I don't know, and then I know them, or I know, Jimmy and Tina, and what if something goes wrong? And get that out of your head, right? So we've all been there. I've dealt with this, and it took me years to change, reframe my mind and back into focused on overcoming that imposter syndrome, and that, I am the best for that. Anyways, just for you newer to the industry loan officers, like, family is the best testing ground to build that confidence and confidence, because they're still going to love you, I promise. Yeah. So, all right. So the other big thing too is your significant other. Like, I had a mentor once tell me, I don't mean to offend anyone, right? But it was the funniest thing. He told me, it's like, if your wife or your husband or your significant other or your partner, if they don't even know what you do, and they're not letting other people know what you do, I mean, you're failing, right? This is like the intimate person of your life, and they don't even have your elevator pitch, right? I just want you guys to think about that as we jump off this call. That, does your significant other, like, do they know your 30-second elevator pitch? Like, if they had to they were out and about and they had the opportunity to promote you, or, give someone your name or what you do to pique their interest, make sure you got that. Make sure you got that dialed in. So that's a big one. And of course, you're going to have all these people between sports teams for your kids, school teachers, parents at school, like, so many opportunities that, making sure people just know what you do, and, not being afraid, again, to let them know. And so, to round it out, like, one of the key things is obviously your database and your past clients. It really frustrates me that so many loan officers, they love actually, I won't say they love this, but they're so focused on the new leads, the prospecting. There's a great book that they call it 3 Feet from Gold. And the story behind that is, you're spending years digging and mining and getting to hopefully one day hit that jackpot, hit that gold artery in the deepest, darkest part of that cavernous cave. Never lose focus of your database and your former clients. Those are the gold nuggets that will pay 10 times what you will expel in energy and money and cost to try to get a new prospect lead. So what I really promote with my loan officers is 2 to 3 impressions per client per month. And so if you are going through a list, like we said, let's build out a list of 35. Who's a list of 35 in your database or in your sphere of influence of family, friends? I had one loan officer had a great idea. Like what she was doing was, it was alphabetical. So she would go through all her A's. Now, granted, she did have a pretty large database, but she would just spend every Monday, I believe it was, going through her whole list of A's for that day. So she didn't stop until she got through all of her A's. It was easy. It was an easy routine to follow once a week, going through that list. And this was more for that direct communication, right? So that phone call. And you're spacing these out. You're not just going to go on their social media post and then follow up with a text message. You could, if there's enough interaction, I believe, as far as replies, comments back, that you do want to feed into that. You do want to build off of that, and then maybe take it offline and say, hey, just checking in. How are things going, right? How's the new house, whatever it may be. And then, this one, when I say 2 to 3, right? So 2 to 3 impressions a month, per each one of those clients in your database. If you've got 50 clients in your database, this is easy to do if you space it out over a whole month and pick one day a week. But the handwritten letter, postcard, you're not going to be sending that to your client every month, right? So this is one that really stands out. Postcards are really easy and do well as far as the impression and the thoughtfulness of it. It goes way farther than even a text message, right? There's something about the art of having to write something in real pen and mailing that out. Now, tracking it. This is the part that this is where they quit, or this is where they get too overwhelmed. And so whatever system works for you, that's really what you need to utilize. And CRMs are obviously the most advanced and best strategy, because then you can convert, whether it's little notes that you have left in there. It's very interactive, that anyone who's on your team, if you do have an assistant or anything like that you can see everything that's happened, or any information regarding what was sent, what you're scheduling to send out in the future, right? So little reminders for yourself. Bottom line is just track it. If it's a spreadsheet, works for you. If it's one of those big old calendars on your desk or your wall, and you just put your hot list for the month down and check it off, as you get those 2 impressions. Like, you're just gonna have that one list, and then boom, one check when you've had 2 impressions. And if it's a list of 35 for the month, you're slowly checking those off as you get through. So just do something. That's all I want to stress. I think too many people get caught up in, like, oh, I need to find the right CRM and the right tool. And no, just do it. Just track it. Whatever's going to work and get you to be more routine and scheduled, and actually knowing, organizing in your way to organize your own thoughts and actions. All right, and then again, don't be afraid to ask for business. That's probably one of the biggest things. Is when you show boldness. Like, a lot of people think, I don't want to come off as salesy. Like, no, you got to be confident and bold in it, and especially if these are past clients, and because you want to, again, the whole purpose of being top of mind. Like, it's very rare that you're going to interact with them at that moment, and then they'd be like, oh yeah, I got a loan I'm doing right now, can you help me? Like, we know that's not how it works. But if you're constantly top of mind, and then all of a sudden their Uncle Jimbo is telling them, well, hey, we're getting ready to move into Tennessee, or Idaho or Florida or whatever it may be. It's like, oh, hey, I just was talking with Brian, and that's right, he's over in that market, and he was telling me, hey, he's just got licensed in these other states. So having that opportunity to be able to leverage that and stay top of mind, making them aware, and not being afraid that it's not even just them. If they know of anyone, so now it's like you've created these little referral networks within each one of your database clients that of people that are in their direct circle. In this current industry, with what we're going through, we do have these cycles, and this is one of those big cycles that that we haven't seen since the last great financial crisis. And so you just gotta take action. Like, if you took just one thing away from today's presentation, it's just take massive action. And so what that means is just don't let yourself overthink things or get caught up in things that you want to do or you're gonna do, or hey, this would be a great opportunity to get more business. Like, just do the small things that become routine. And as long as you're hitting those every day and you don't even have to think about it, you're taking that massive action, whether it's just little baby steps. When I say massive action, it doesn't mean you're taking a big step forward. No, you're just a bunch of little baby steps that all add up to massive action. And that's just going to, I don't even want to say, like, it distracts you from the negative self-talk or the focusing on, lack of loans in your pipeline and things like that. So just making it routine, taking that action day after day, setting up what works for you. We're all different. We all have very different, I'm constantly having to shift things around in my routine, just to find something that works a little better. I love to switch it up. I hate being put in a box. I'm like the farthest guy you'll find from routine, which is why I just go off and start companies and things. That's one of my outlets. But anyways, take action. That's all I can say to everyone here. So.